Hello and welcome to another video with me, Bev, the owner and designer of all things Uniko. This week on the blog, it is Ink and Flip week. We're having some flipping marvellous fun with Uniko's unique and innovative ink and flip stencils. So we've got 2 new stencils being released on Saturday and they'll be available in the shop. And as there's only 2 stencils, I thought we'd make a week of it but revisit a couple of other stencils. And today we're starting off with the first one, which was Ink and Flip Star. So this is the card that I've shared over on the blog today. As you can see, I haven't flipped the stencil, I've only used it on the one side. Now, the reason why I haven't done a flip card to create the star is because I wanted to show how this stencil could be used in other ways, you know, giving you more creative options really. I will link in the description the other videos that I've done that show the flipping of the stencil. But I thought what I'd do today is show you, just create a festive version of this card. So I've done the happy birthday card and we're going to do a festive version. So I'll just move this out of the way. I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut my card. So this white panel is 13 centimeters square. And then I've got a parsley cardstock base, which is 14 centimeters squared. The reason why I do my cards flat, these I'm working on a flat rather than a base card, is because I like to mount them on white card bases rather than a coloured cardstock base. But also I use a lot of my samples for display purposes at shows. So in my first card, the happy card, I used big and bold happy and the coordinating dies. So you can buy these together or as a bundle, and they also come separately because you can actually use the dies individually on their own. So you get the outline, sort of shadow effect die, and then you get the actual word die, and the word happy does fit inside, so you can layer up 3 times. So this is what I used on the first card. Now it's part of the big and bold series, so the sentiments in the other big and bold ones do work alongside it. So I'll be using the Christmas sentiment from Big and Bold Merry, so I've got that ready to go. So I pre-cut everything so I could sort of get going and I wasn't keeping you too much, but still I end up chatting away as normal. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to centre my card, but I'm just going to mark the centre. So we want 6.5. I just find if I work on the centre, then everything's sort of nice and neat, lined up. You don't have to put a massive mark. You don't have to line it up if you don't want to. It's just personal preference at the end of the day, isn't it? I've also done a little mark on the centre point of my Ink and Flip Star stencil as well. Just so if I was to go and flip it, I'd have a nice central star, but again, it doesn't have to be centralised. So I'm just lining this up on my base. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold thanks to the change in weather, kids back at school. So I do apologise if my voice goes a little bit croaky. So I've chosen 2 colours today because I'm going to do a little sort of technique of double stenciling. So I've chosen parsley and evergreen. We're going to start with the parsley as the background. So this is a fun stencil for creating geometric backgrounds. I've played with it quite a bit, but I'm sure doing the one layer, there is lots of other options and combinations and layouts that you can achieve just doing it the one layer. What I like about this is it looks like there's a sort of it's like a parcel with a ribbon running across. And there is an example on the website for the stencil product where I've done a 10.5 by 14 centimetre card. I don't have it to hand because it's on a sample board in the garage. But I've combined the stencil and I've done it in red, and I've combined it with the Arts Decoratives background block Christmas to create like a gift. So it looks like a gift with a tag on it. And then I added like a bow from Mid-Century Modern Wreath Builder. It was one that I made last year. So I'm doing my stenciling quite quick because what I'm going to do is a double layering stenciling effect. So this is going to be a really fun week, hopefully giving you lots of inspiration to get started or continue with your festive makes, or even if you finish, get started for next year. So I've got a few stencils arriving, hopefully tomorrow, some restocks, and one of the restocks includes In the Forest. So this stencil's been out of stock for a little while, apologies for that, but now I have found another small business manufacturer that can do smaller quantities for me. I'll be slowly restocking the stencils. So as you can see, I'm just placing the In the Forest stencil over the top of my stenciled area. I'm going to get a couple more bits of tape. And this tape is quite tacky. I've still got the tacky one, so I'm just taking a little bit of the tackiness off so it doesn't ruin my base all the time that I work on, because that frustrates me. And I'm just securing it down. Now what I'm going to do, I haven't cleaned my stencil because I'm just using another shade of green, and I'm just replacing the stencil over the top so I can mask off the areas. Now the reason I have done it this way is so the base card that base stencil that I'm using is closer to my surface, and I should be able to then ink through, applying the darker shade of ink, and I should get a nice crisp impression. Whereas if I did it the other way around, the pattern isn't flat and you might get a bit of seepage. You still want to be a little bit more cautious and careful that you don't get too much ink like over the edges. You could do it another way by using printer paper and masking off, but this just saves a little bit of time and also not wasting any masking paper. So this stencil's been out of stock for a little while, but it is coming back and it's a fun one. A couple of this style of tree here is inspired by our Christmas pop stencil, and for some of you who have been around a while will remember Christmas pop clear stamps. And you'll want to keep watching, keeping an eye out, because I've got another fun release coming mid to late October. I've got a couple of stamps coming back in stock, being re-released, that have been retired for a little while, along with some fun new ones as well. So, and I'm just going to reveal the pattern, and there we have it. And it looks like you've created wrapping paper, which is a really fun effect. And you don't have to use Christmas trees. You could have done it in blues and use snowflakes, stencils, all sorts. So there's lots of options, but it's just a fun way of creating something different. So as I said, I went ahead and pre-cut my stencil dies here, just to save a bit of time and a bit of space on my desk. Now, when it comes to die cuts, I tend to use, I do use wet glue, just so they adhere a little bit more, stronger, and I don't find that they actually warp too much. Would help if my glue would come out. I think because it's been laid on its side. And it's starting to run out a bit. Nope, he's not coming, so I'm just going to keep him upside down a minute. We'll move to the next bit. So before I do the gluing, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place where I want my my die cut. So it's going to roughly go here. And we'll stamp the sentiment and a couple of fun elements from the Big and Bold Happy. So I'm just using the Christmas sentiments for Happy Christmas. There was me thinking I was super prepared for a nice short and sweet video, and then my glue decides to do this. There's always something, isn't there? But hey ho, the joys of crafting and doing videos. So I'm just using the Nectarine ink VersaFine Clair. I love it for sentiments, and I'm just eyeballing where I'm going to have it. I do find it quite helpful that my pad that I work on has lines, so I can roughly guide it. I don't always use my stamping platform when it comes to using smaller stamps and smaller sentiments, just because it takes time to get it all set up and lined up and things. So what I'm using is these little sort of like explosions from the Big and Bold Happy to create a little bit of detail, interest. It's not necessary, but it's something I really enjoy doing on my cards. So again, I'm just leaving that part of the sentiment just so I can get the placement, and I'm not going to hide the little elements too much. I've got a little damp cloth just to the side of me. I try and just wipe my stamps as I've used them, and then it avoids getting, when you peel them off the little block, getting any ink on your fingers that then you can transfer to your card base. How many times have we done that, and it's so frustrating. And I'm just doing one up there. I'll just put that on because I'm bound to get my hands in the ink. So it's starting to come together. Now, I don't normally I was thinking I was to use a green, but I think I'm going to use red for the enamel dots. What I did on my birthday card, I tried to pick a colour from one of the squares that was sort of closer to match sort of the ink colours I've used on there. But this one, I think the red just might give it a little pop, just to make it stand out a little bit. And it's quite handy that these enamel dots come in 3 sizes as well. So I'm going to use all 3 sizes like I did on my birthday card. And then the little one at the top. And it just adds a little bit of detail, a little fun feature, just to draw your eye to the card. Now what I'm going to do now, just while I'm just making sure that my glue is coming down, I'm going to adhere this to the base that I pre-cut, because so you may be wondering, so you use wet glue for die cuts, but you use double-sided when you're adhering layers. I do this because I find wet glue buckles card a little bit in larger amounts. I just prefer to use double-sided tape, and I have done for many years, and I've had no problems. Maybe as my cards start to get a little bit older, some of mine from displays, maybe that they're 10-year-old cards or older, because Uniko's been going a while now. Some of them cards, the layers have started to come apart a little bit, but I just prefer it. It's just ease of use and preference, isn't it? So I'm just lining up. Again, another reason I enjoy working sort of on a grid base is so I can eyeball lining things up. It's just a little bit of removable adhesive stuck on there from when I've had it on the other side. So I just use a rubber and eraser, pencil eraser, just to take off any removable adhesive sometimes. So hopefully my glue is up and running now. It's slowly coming out. I should keep a pin, shouldn't I, in it, but the pins don't always let you put the lids back on very well. Or it's a sign that I need to replenish my glue. See, now it's going to come and be the opposite and have loads of glue come out. And the thing is, I don't want too much. I've always only done little dots, so I'm just using a paintbrush that I had to hand just to get little dots of glue out and onto the word. From no glue to too much glue. It's always the way. Gonna move that just to the side so it doesn't drip. So we had a reasonable weekend of weather, but today the rain has returned. Perfect day for crafting for sure. So another thing I thought I would mention while I just glue this together is The Big Bold Happy and the Stencil Ink and Flip Christmas Star are on this week's Card of the Week discount. So if you haven't looked before on the website homepage, if you scroll down a little bit towards the bottom, there is a section that says Card of the Week. And every week, every Monday, I change the card, and all the products the Uniko products that I've used on that card are then in a section where there is 15% off. So all the products that I've used on the birthday card are in that section this week. I've also included the Big and Bold Dies and Clear Stamp bundle, which is already discounted with a further discount, which is super cool. So instead of £25 for the bundle, it is 21 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maths isn't my best subject. But yeah, so it's got a huge discount on that bundle this week. And just to clarify, the discounts are only online. If you are coming to Craftorama, I apologise, in Lincoln at the weekend, it's on Sunday. I might have some show deals, but my Card of the Week deal won't be on at the show. It is website only. I haven't finalised what show specials, if I will have any. I'm not sure yet. That's one of my jobs to work out this week, as I prepare for that as well. So it'd be lovely to see you if you are coming. So please pop by the Uniko stand. I believe I am in the same place as I've always been at the show. But yeah, I'm excited to get back. So I've just glued it together, adhered it, and now I've put some 1mm thick foam adhesive to the reverse, just to pop it up a little bit. And I'm just eyeballing where I would like the sentiment. And there we go. And that is my festive version of the card. So be sure to have a look at, pop over to the blog. Either one, there is links to the blog hop with the brand ambassadors. They have created some phenomenal and inspirational cards using this stencil, so be sure to join in and hop along. And thank you for joining me here today. See you again soon. Bye.